He appeared each morning before sunrise, sweeping the temple steps with a twig broom no larger than a child's arm. His robe was faded, the color long stolen by sun and rain, and his hands bore the marks of hard winters. To the villagers below, he was just a quiet old man, a forgotten monk who spoke rarely and walked as though the earth itself had to forgive each step. But to a group of young travelers passing through the valley, fresh from cities and full of noise, he was a source of curiosity, maybe even mockery. Does he even know what year it is? One laughed, recording a video. Probably thinks silence is enlightenment. Another dropped a coin into the monk's tea bowl, like tossing bread to a bird. What's the use of wisdom if you have nothing to show for it? He sneered. The monk didn't respond. He simply looked up at the mountains, where the wind was beginning to stir. His gaze lingered there, as if listening to something the rest of them could not hear. Later that evening, the group found themselves at the village's only inn, sharing stories, charging phones, scrolling feeds. One of them noticed a small envelope tucked into her backpack. Inside, a note written in delicate brush strokes. Come to the summit before the wind returns. Bring nothing but silence. They laughed at first. A prank, perhaps. But curiosity grew. Something in the ink, in the flow of the characters, felt ancient and intentional. Against their better judgment they went. At dawn, they climbed the trail behind the temple, the sky still dark. They didn't expect to find the monk already waiting. He stood barefoot on the edge of the cliff, hands folded behind his back. Without turning, he spoke. You ask what I have to show. I ask, what have you truly seen? They were taken aback. His voice was gentle but clear, like a flute heard in fog. He didn't scold them, but each word struck deeper than anger ever could. He reached into his robe and handed them a small map, no larger than a napkin, marked with circles and lines they couldn't understand. Follow the wind, he said. Then he walked away, vanishing into the trees like he had never been there. The next day, rumors swept the village. The monk had left the temple, the first time in decades. Some feared he was ill. Others whispered it was his time. The travelers, feeling the weight of something they didn't fully grasp, followed the map. It led to a hidden cave nestled between cliffs, where an old wooden box rested beneath a faded tapestry. Inside were handwritten scrolls, ledgers, property deeds, and letters signed by global leaders, dignitaries, and spiritual figures from across the world. The monk had once been a renowned philosopher, a spiritual advisor, a mediator between nations. His teachings had de-escalated wars, reformed policies, rebuilt entire communities. He had owned estates in several countries. And yet, he walked away from it all. No announcement. No farewell tour. Just silence. He had left everything behind to become invisible, to observe the world he once tried to save. To listen and teach again, not from a stage, but from the dust of forgotten steps. The cave also contained a chest with documents proving ownership of land beneath major cities, properties hidden in trust. And more importantly, one final scroll addressed directly to the travelers. I gave away my name, so you could find your own. Wealth is not what fills your pockets, it's what echoes after you've gone. I asked for silence, so you could hear what matters. And beneath that, a final note. The wind is not loud, but it moves mountains. The monk was never seen again. Some say he passed peacefully in a monastery unknown to the world. Others claim he still walks, sweeping forgotten steps somewhere new. But his teaching spread, not through headlines, but through whispers. The young travelers returned changed. One left behind their career in corporate litigation to build a center for displaced families. Another began translating the monk's scrolls into a book titled Asterisk, The Whisper of the Wind. Asterisk. The video they once filmed as a joke was reposted with context, and it went viral. Not for its laughter, but for the look in the monk's eyes. That calm, unshakable stillness. It became a global symbol of humility. Millions watched, and many listened. And now, every year on the same morning, people around the world climb their own summits, be it a hilltop, rooftop, or quiet place, and sit in silence, listening for the wind. Because sometimes the most powerful lessons aren't shouted. They arrive like a breeze, soft but unforgettable. Keywords: emotional monk story, inspirational true story, life-changing story, motivational YouTube video, viral wisdom, powerful lesson, secret past, spiritual journey, silence speaks louder, humility and strength, mystery monk, deep life lesson, whisper of the wind, story that will change your life, peaceful strength, story of transformation. Let me know if you want this turned into a cinematic video script or thumbnail design next.